This is a special trained Yakuza attack cat. It kills only Yakuza-made men. Boss, better get him before he gets you. Tonight's review is on Gozu, which is a Japanese movie with English subtitles, so if you don't like reading subtitles and you don't know Japanese, you might not care for this movie. Gozu is a highly experimental film by Takashi Miike. The story is about This film follows a member of the Yakuza who is traveling with another member, a close friend of his who he has been assigned to kill. Along the way, his friend disappears, and to put it lightly, shit gets weird. The opening scene of this movie is what ultimately decides whether the viewer is on board or not. You may remember I spoofed it in the opening of this review. There's a Yakuza gang member who shows his boss this little dog, a long-haired chihuahua that's just kind of sitting there minding its own business. He insists that this is an attack dog specially trained to kill made men in the Yakuza, and then he proceeds to kill it in a strangely comedic manner. Before any of that, however, he tells his boss that what's about to follow is all a joke and that he shouldn't take it seriously. And then his boss takes the whole thing seriously, but I think that this message was really meant for the audience because everything that follows from then on is pretty silly. At the same time, though, I am talking about this movie in October for a reason, because the whole film kind of feels like a bad dream. It's almost like when you have this nightmare that scares the living shit out of you, it may even leave you in bed awake for a while, but then later, once you reflect on the logic of the whole thing, you start to realize it was actually kind of stupid. This whole film just has kind of a dreamlike quality to it where nothing makes sense, and the only person in the entire film who has a clear-cut motivation is the main character who is trying to find his best friend. Gozu is straight up art house, and if there's any symbolism to be found, I see the whole thing as representing someone who has to make this difficult decision where they need to sacrifice something that they love for the greater good. And this doesn't necessarily have to mean killing someone. It could pretty much be anything where, someone is telling this main character that what he has to do is the right thing, and it might be his only choice in order to move forward. His friend in this movie is someone who does more harm than good. He's the same guy who killed the dog at the beginning, but, he might not see killing him as the right thing in his own mind, and the fact that he ends up losing him and has such a difficult time finding him again could be a symbol of his own reluctance. And without spoiling anything, the final act of this movie could represent how attached the main character is to what he'll end up losing if he follows orders, and how much more seductive it becomes once he's faced with the decision of getting rid of it. That's just my takeaway, though. I could be completely wrong. Gozu might very well end up being the strangest film I've reviewed this month, which is saying something since I've already survived ABCs of Death 2. If you enjoy surrealist art house films, then this one definitely comes recommended. I hope y'all have a good one.